this is Ava from Luxora. How can I help you today?
Hello, Ava. I'm looking for a gift for my sister, and I'd just like some help with measurements.
Transferring the call now. Hello there, I'm Sarah, the product manager at Luxora. How can I help?
Hello, Sarah. I was just wondering if I could confirm some measurements on the mini tail dress.
The Lucy Detail mini dress is designed to ensure a flattering and comfortable fit. It's available in a range of sizes, including those from our petite and plus size collections. To confirm the measurements and assist you in finding the perfect fit, I'll need to know your usual dress size or your body measurements. This will help me provide accurate guidance on...
I'll give you the measurements now. So the bust is 34 inches, waist 27, and hips 36 inches. What size do you think would be best for those measurements?
Based on those measurements, I would recommend a size small for the mini tail dress. This size should provide a comfortable and flattering fit based...
Right, let's test. Daniel.
Hello, this is Ava from Luxora. How can I help you today?
Hi there, I just received my order and one of the items doesn't fit me, and I was just wondering if I could get help with the return and refund process.
Transferring the call now. Greetings, this is Daniel from Logistics and Orders. How can I help?
Hi Daniel, I was just wondering if you could help me with the return and refund policy because one of my items doesn't fit me that I've just received.
If the item you received doesn't fit, you can initiate a return within 30 days of the delivery date. You can do this by visiting the My Orders section of your Luxora Trends account and following the steps to request a return label. If you don't have an account, you can also initiate a return by contacting our customer support team at returns@luxoratrends.com.
How long will could you clarify how long the refund will take?
The refund process usually takes 3-5 business days from the date we receive the returned item. The refunded amount will be issued to the original payment method, and you will receive an email notification.
Right, let's not drag this out too much longer. So what you just saw there was a phone-based AI customer support team. So it wasn't just one assistant like what you're used to. It was an actual team, as you could hear on that demonstration. That the assistants were passing the call around to each other. You know, whenever one topic comes up that they don't, not really specialized in, they will pass it on to another caller. And today I'm going to show you how to build one on Vapi AI. It's relatively simple. Loading onto Vapi for the first time can be overwhelming, so I'm going to try to explain everything as best as possible while not going too in depth. What I really want to just focus on today is sort of the Vapi side of things, the prompting, the setting up the assistants, and kind of tweaking it so they're able to transfer the calls fluently. That's why there's no make.com integrations here. I don't really play around with any tools. It's just very, very simple, and that's why I've chosen a customer support team to do this on, not an appointment setting team or anything crazy like that. So yeah, I'm going to show you today how to build one. And first off, we're going to jump on over to Twilio. So basically, Twilio is what you will need to set up a phone number to link this up to. So what you want to do is you want to just start for free, go on to Twilio. I'm not going to run through this whole process because it's very, very simple. You want to put in all your information, then you go on there. There'll be another tutorial somewhere. This isn't a Twilio tutorial. So go on to Twilio, literally look for a phone number in your area or wherever you want for that matter. Buy that phone number and then link it up to Vapi. So if you come over to phone numbers, what you can do here, so you can say I've got this phone number linked up here that I bought from Twilio. You literally just buy the phone number. It'll cost like 90p or something like that. You get a couple little bits of information with your Twilio account. I'll show you here. So you'll get your Twilio phone number, you just put it in there, you get your account SID, you get your auth token, you just fire it in there and you're good to go, and you've got a phone number up. You link it up, you can just call that phone number and you're talking to an AI assistant. Really, really simple. So now that's out the way, what you want to do is you actually want to start building your assistants. But before we do that, what you're going to need is knowledge. So as you heard on that phone call, the assistants were answering questions in quite a lot of depth. That wasn't all just from prompting, there's other information there. So if you go to files here, what this allows you to do is upload files, upload documents into your Vapi account, which you can then assign to different assistants. So essentially, what you're going to want to do for whatever company you're building this for, if you're building this for your own company, you want to go and get a load of documents with all your information. If you're trying to get information from the website, use a tool called Firecrawl. I think I have an example of me running a Firecrawl that I could put in right now, but if not, basically Firecrawl is a tool where you can just go on, you can put in a website URL and it will crawl the entire website, get all the information marked down, and you can convert it to text. Very, very simple. Quite pricey though, so use your free credits wisely. But I'll give you an example. So this is one, this is the knowledge base that I used for that example. Luxora Trends. It's a company that ChatGPT founded, and essentially this is all the information. a brief overview, and then these are the topics for the knowledge base. So this thing has like, 49 pages, so there's loads and loads of information here. I probably went a little bit too overboard in the information, but basically goes over company overview, customer service, shipping and delivery, return and refunds, payment and security, products, blah blah blah, accounting orders. You get the idea. Loads and loads of information for the assistants to answer off. And essentially what you're doing when you're creating multiple assistants, you're just saying, okay, you need to focus on this bit of information. You need to focus on this bit of information. You get the idea. So once you have your knowledge and you have your Twilio phone number, you're good to go. So come over, download it, choose your file, just upload the file that you literally just created. So I uploaded that there, Luxura Trends KB. When you come over to assistants, you can create a new assistant. And I'm not going to go through the whole process of creating a new assistant, but basically, well, I will actually, because I'm bored, so why not? So, new assistant, you want to give it a name, example, and the first one you want to create is sort of your decision maker, your, well, maybe probably be more appropriate to call it a gatekeeper. So your first sort of assistant that you make will be your decision maker. So who's deciding where the user is going to go, what assistant the user is going to speak to. So example webhook, we'll call it example webhook because that was the suggested. And if you just want to start with blank, I mean, you can go with one of these, but the best one would probably be inbound Q&A or customer support. But regardless, I'll just show you, for example, give you a quick run through, and I'll show you the prompts for the ones that I've put in here. So essentially what you come on with here, these are your costs. So what this is your Vapi cost. That's what Vapi charges you per minute. And then this is your AI model, GPT 3.5 Turbo, but we're actually going to change that to 4.0 Turbo. My face cam is in the way, but I think that, 4.0 Turbo. 4.0 Mini, sorry. That's like it's cheaper than 3.5 Turbo, and it's a very, very good model. So if you put that in, and then here's where, remember the files that we uploaded? This is where you're going to fire your files in. So you would hit Luxura Trends. Obviously you would put whatever yours is in there. Then here's where you're going to write your prompt. Your first message is literally your first message. So hi there. You can see all of the examples that I put in. So it would be something like this. I'll just put one of them in. Hi there, I'm Sarah, the product manager at Luxura. How can I help? But if you're building your first assistant, you would want hi there, this is Ava from Luxura. You don't want it to be a category specific or department specific. You just want the first one to be from the company. So then Ava can find out what your problem is and then send you to either Daniel or to, who's the other one called? Sarah, whoever it is. And then this is probably the most important one, and we won't really be playing around with functions or any of the advanced stuff too much today, but I'll just give you a really, really quick run through. So your transcriber is basically what, turns all of this into text. So basically what you can do with Vapi is after the call, you can link it up to Make. So everything from the call, all the transcripts, all the durations, phone number, all the clobber can get sent to make.com. And you can, send emails, send stuff to your CRM, but that's what I specifically didn't want to go into today because, I wanted to try to keep things as simple as possible so you can get the benefits of the RAG from Vapi. So anyway, voice. This is, as you guessed, the voice. I don't know, on the demo there, or the video at the start where I showed you it working, whenever I said Daniel, it like played up with the voice. It's put some woman's voice instead of Daniel's voice. Don't know what the crack was with that. So I think the squads are... I think Vapi has a lot of work to do in the squads, but the good thing about Vapi, they're quick with what it is that they do, so I can assure you that probably by the time you're watching this or building one, they will have sorted out the squads a bit better. It's still a bit laggy. The user interface, from what I was trying it out, can glitch and bug out a wee bit, but for the most part, it is really good in terms of actual functionality. So what you can do here, you can choose your provider. The famous ones, 11 Labs is probably the best in my opinion. That's the ones that I used in the last call. So I would go with 11 Labs, and there's also another setting, I don't know if it's here. Yeah, so this was one I like to enable, back channel enabled. Back channel, yeah, so if you put that on, basically your assistant can say like, yeah, it sounds a lot more human-like, it sounds a lot better, you really wouldn't think about it, and I don't even worry about any of that stuff. And then your functions is basically your custom tools that you can add into it, so if you have a tool that can trigger make.com mid phone call and it can go and do a load of stuff in make.com, this is where you would add it, then you would tell it when to trigger it, you would basically describe the scenario, so Vapi would trigger it and send that to Make, but we're not going into that today, that's what we want to avoid. And end of call function is basically the phone agent could just end the call on you, and then the forwarding number, so if the phone agent doesn't know what's going on, I can just basically transfer the call to your phone number. It's actually a very useful function, especially in customer support. So what I would do if you're building this for a company or for your own company, put a backup number here. So whenever the assistant doesn't really know what's going on, it can fall back on calling a human. It's actually a very, very good function. You can see this phone number will be used to transfer calls from the assistant, only applicable with phone calls, not web calls. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying. And then advanced, this is all the advanced stuff. This is where all the information will get sent to after the phone call, but I really don't want to get hung up on this. So with the prompting for your first assistant, the main kind of decision maker, like what we have here. So Ava is the first assistant. And basically what she does is she'll just encompass like general broad inquiries, nothing really specific. But then if you come on and you're talking to Ava and you start talking about products, then it'll go to Sarah. If you start talking about, refunds or anything, it'll send you to Daniel, just like in the demonstration. So the prompting for Ava is a little bit different. Where are we? Ava's there. So I'll show you what I mean. So this is a pretty decent format that I've been able to find for the squads that work well. And if you're wondering how do you alter when something gets transferred to another assistant, basically you just need to prompt it into it. So in addition, this is what I said. So in addition to answering general questions, if you want to pause it and have a read through, work away, I can put all of these prompts into a document and put that into the description if anyone wants to see that. But yeah, so this is what I said. So in addition to answering general questions, you manage the conversational flow with two other specialized assistants in your team. Logistics and return specialist handles all inquiries related to orders, shipping, payments, returns and refunds. Product specialist, blah, blah, blah. Call management. Your task is to swiftly identify the customer's needs and either address them directly or transfer the call to the relevant specialist. So you can just see there, it's kind of like night and day. That's I find that to be the most kind of robust and solid method that works most of the time. But even still, sometimes it can play up. Like for example, I was asking for a discount code on a dress, address, and then it heard address and thought it was talking like a house address, so it kept sending me to logistics. So you really just need to be careful. And what you could do is you could put like additional notes, fire load all that stuff in. And you provide it with some example scenarios. If a customer asks about store hours or deliveries, you handle this query directly using your broad knowledge, because that doesn't really need to be required to be answered by a specialist. If a customer asks about returning an item, politely redirect the user to the logistics and return specialist. Very self-explanatory. So you get the idea. So what you can basically do with these other assistants is like fine-tune them to be really, really good at a specific task. For example, if you were building a like an outbound version of this, you could have one assistant that's specifically trying to book an appointment, and then you could have one that's specifically trying to answer questions. There's one that's trying to do all this sort of stuff, and if it just allows you to narrow it down so much, and you can have one sort of assistant just be able to do so many things so much better than what you could do before. And that's the whole idea of it. So once you have your assistant set up or your prompt set up, your main one, that's probably the hardest one, and you've got your knowledge in there. And second off, you will go to one of your other agents. We'll go to Sarah, for example, and this is the prompt. So role, your name is Sarah, you're a specialist. You get what I'm saying. It's the same sort of format, but just a bit different. And if I could scroll, that would be good. And I'll show you the transferring section if I can find it. I don't know why my computer is bugging. So your task, recommend the right products based on their preferences or needs. So I thought I made an error in my prompting, but I didn't. I just didn't format it correctly. So I've added a little hyphen here, which will hopefully make it make the LLM read it a bit better, so it's able to forward to Daniel. Because that's one of the things that I noticed, it wasn't very good at forwarding to Daniel, the logistics expert. But hopefully that is sorted now that I've done that. So essentially the most important part of this is getting it good at answering questions. Getting your prompting right for the RAG is really, really important. But I'd say the most important part is having just clearly telling it when to transfer the call, because you don't want to be transferring the call at the wrong time, because that can be very, very annoying. Like for example, one of the issues that I find is, like I said, is when I said address, it thought I meant address, like a house address. and I didn't know why, but it can pick these things up wrong. So make a couple notes in your prompt warning the assistant of the issues that can be seen. And so the most important part of this is really just the prompting and putting your knowledge base in there, giving it examples, plenty of examples of how to answer. So example interaction, customer, I'm looking for a dress for a wedding, but I'm not sure what style would fit me. See, I was saying things like that, and then it would go like transferring call, and it would send it to Daniel. I was thinking, what's going on? But it's because it sees that, like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. So they do have a bit of work to do, and I feel like, you can't really blame the models. But that really sounds exciting for a wedding. I'd recommend a blam 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 dress, which is you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. And I just used OpenAI to write these prompts. So what I would do is write an example, and then feed it into OpenAI, and throw OpenAI your products or whatever it needs to write the prompt better. So once you've got that done, you've got all your assistants lined up. You've got Ava done, who's going to be the first assistant decision maker, and then you've got the other two ready to go, ready to do their thing. You want to come over to squads and just hit new squad, and then add your first member. So we're going to add Ava. Create squad, and you'll see what I mean by the squads kind of needing a bit of work. The UI is a little bit dodgy at times. So our first assistant, and we will add another assistant. And we're going to add Daniel and Sarah. Where'd you go, Sarah? Okay, so the top one, or the bottom one, is the connector. So you link the bottom one to the top one. Boom, and then it goes back. See what I mean? You link the bottom one to the top one. So this basically means that Ava can send the call to either of these two. But Daniel, for example, at the moment with this configuration, wouldn't be able to send the call to Sarah. Okay, so if we want to be able to do that, it's pretty self-explanatory. We just connect them up like that, and vice versa. I'm really looking forward to Vapi improving this UI, because it is pretty painful at the moment. And then if we want both of them to link back to Ava, which I don't think will ever really happen. So I would avoid linking your your secondary, your sub assistants to your main one at the start, because it can kind of get a little bit, I don't know, like some issues can arise when you're doing that, let's just say. So there you go. And now you have a squad set up, and after a couple of minutes of painfully connecting them up, that's pretty much it. Once you have it connected to your phone number, then you can, play around with different tools. Oh no, you don't need to do that. But once you have your phone number set up, then you can put that anywhere, and this will run as it should once you get your prompting down. See, the key thing is in the prompting, and that's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you exactly how you can sort of write your prompt so the transferring is aligned and it's accurate, and it's not just firing the call about. And also, you only need one phone number for one squad. So you just go and link a phone number up to Ava, and then it will be able to send it to these two assistants. You don't need a separate number for each assistant. You just need, your main phone number that you bought on Twilio, and put that to your first assistant. As you can see here, your first assistant, phone number gets assigned to her. So phone numbers, I think I already have it. So assistant, not test. If I were to put it to Ava, then that's that squad setting that phone number, which is one thing that was kind of confusing me at the start. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got one more wee thing. Yeah, so the more assistants you add to a squad, the more inaccurate the transfers are going to be. Because think about it this way, if you only have two assistants in the one squad, then it's going to be pretty much 100% accurate. But if you have 10, I don't think how much of a nightmare it's going to be, unless those different roles are distinctly different, and you get some really, really solid prompting in there. So one thing I would recommend is keeping your squads small, on the smaller side. It's just going to save you a lot of time and effort, and trying to fix things and trying to perfectly prompt it. And as well, like I said before, I haven't added any tools or any crazy make automations into this yet. If you want to see me do that, then I can. I just really wanted to make a quick and simple video, because I hate watching long tutorials. And whenever I first saw this, because I was a bit of a synth guy, whenever I first saw this, I didn't know what was going on. So I wanted to share this video, try and make it, try to simplify it as much as possible. That was kind of the key takeaway of this video. But yeah, so the main takeaways is get a good knowledge base. If you need to, use Firecrawl. And then second of all, basically all of the squad kind of functionality is from prompting, so make sure your prompting is really good. I just showed you a couple examples of prompts that work well, and from in the video that I showed you earlier, you can see that it actually does work. And three, what's the third takeaway? I don't know if there is one. Oh yeah, get a Twilio account. Don't really think that's a takeaway, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.